Rogers TV.
Welcome to Daytime Ottawa. I can't get enough of that opening theme. My goodness, it just gets me excited. And I'm sure it gets you excited at home too. We have a great show for you today. Paul Meek is here from Kitchissippi Beer. Jeff Rogers, one of the greatest artists in the entire country, singer, songwriter, has got a brand new album out. And that and many more. We're talking toilets today as well on the show. I know, we do a little bit of everything. We're also going to talk about a great social enterprise, but we start off here in the kitchen, not cooking something today with Paula Roy, of course, host of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods right here on Rogers TV, food editor at Ottawa at Home, recipe developer with Constantly Cooking. You wear a lot of hats.
I sure do.
You're a busy lady.
Just like you.
How are you?
I'm great. Glad to be here as always.
I love because you do this each and every year. You say to me, you know what? I don't want to do a cooking segment as we get close to the holidays. I want to do something for the chefs and the foodies on people's lists, and that's what we're talking about today,
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So when you go to choose something for somebody, what's sort of the criteria for Paula Roy?
Typically, it's practical first. So I love consumable gifts, things that they can eat or drink. Then they're not going to put them in a cupboard and open the door every few months and go, oh, I should use that thing, or should I put that on Facebook Marketplace? Will Paula see it? So definitely want to make sure that it's usable or super practical. So a really good kitchen tool or kitchen appliance that I personally believe in and use in my own kitchen. I won't gift something that like, oh, that looks kind of gimmicky and neat. Maybe that person would like it because you're saddling them with the burden of testing it out. So always something that I have deep knowledge of or I feel is really suited to the person. And
I think you mentioned some of those, right? In the latest issue of Ottawa at Home, which I'll just showcase here. Mary Taggart, by the way, editor-in-chief, was on the show yesterday, and she did go through some things, but what have you included in this issue?
So there's a 2-page gift guide just for foodies, and it includes things like how to get your team together for a workshop at the Parkdale Food Centre. Learn about food insecurity, make some food, eat together, really fun. I mentioned giving CSA farm box subscriptions as Christmas gifts, so you get fresh vegetables throughout the growing season. A great thing to give someone who loves to cook. And yeah, there we go.
I
you
just found it. I know.
Right away.
I wasn't ignoring you. I was looking. I was looking for your article.
Cocktail classes at Pot and Pantry, great shop on Elgin Street. Seafood classes at Pelican Seafood.
Oh yeah.
There's the seared scallops I made in Ben's seafood class.
Nice.
On the other day. There's a great countertop pizza oven if people aren't comfortable working outdoors in the winter. Really great countertop pizza oven.
Very cool.
So lots and lots of options.
That's all the rage, right?
Oh yeah.
Like these pizza ovens, and the price points are all over the place, which is great, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that are more affordable, and then you can go all out. What's his name? Scott McGilvery has his show. What is it? My Vacation House Rules, and he had one of these top of the line ones. Monica and I fell in love with it. Then we looked at the price and we said no.
I'm on Team
that's
Uni.
Great.
OONI.
Yeah.
Great pizza ovens.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll check it out. Well, let's talk about what you brought here. Where do you want to start
Okay, so
today?
maybe we'll start over on that edge.
Okay.
So I mentioned consumable. A lot of people enjoy festive beverages over the holidays. So we have a 4-pack from Dairy Distillery, makers of vodka in Almont, and their vodka and other products are made with byproduct from the milk processing industry that used to get dumped, and farmers would have to pay to dump it, and now it's being transformed into delicious beverages.
What a great success story they've been.
Absolutely.
Remember during the pandemic, they started making hand sanitizer,
and they still do, yeah.
and they continued to do that today. This is just another one of those
little
great
gift
stories.
Box, perfect for if someone likes to make fancy coffees, for example, really, really great.
Yeah.
And they'll ship it, or you can pick it up at the store in Almont, which is great.
Fantastic. What else have you got here?
So the blue jug is, in my family, we call it the glug glug jug. It's called a gurgle pot. And when you fill it with water or whatever liquid you prefer, as you pour it, the liquid sloshes through the handle, and it literally goes glug glug glug. And it's just a real conversation piece. Super practical, dishwasher safe, comes in a rainbow of colors, and really fun for someone who likes sitting around the table and making sure everyone's got their water glasses filled.
That is great. What about this here? Tell me about this.
This is called the Spice Box, and it's a set of cards. I think there's about 60 in there with information about the spices and then ways to use them. So I find people are intimidated if you have your repertoire of the spices that you reach for all the time, but then you see a recipe and it calls for curry leaves or something, you think, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with that. So this would be great for an experienced cook who wants to go to the next level, or a learning cook who wants to do a bit of reading and get just amazing inspiration. So it's handy because it's just there in a box. I was showing it to some friends and they turned it into a quiz game like that. So
nice.
Lots of options.
I love it. You know what's amazing too is I don't think people realize how many different spices there are, herbs there are out there,
Absolutely.
right? 'Cause there's always the go-tos, but then you come across something and you're like, what? The black cardamom, what's this? Macrit lime?
Sure. Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
I'm not certain.
Okay,
actually,
all right.
I would say macroot just because, but I'm not sure
Gotcha.
actually. Yeah.
Speaking of spices, this is another amazing success story.
So everybody's getting those for stocking stuffers for me. I just love them.
Yeah.
They're available at Farm Boy now, and she does a lot of farmers markets and pop-ups and so on. I could make my own spice blends, but I don't anymore because of Spice Girls.
Do you know that I named one of her spices?
Nice.
Her pizza spice, which is called a pizzazz.
Yeah.
So she had an Instagram contest saying, name this spice and you can win like a kit.
Yeah.
And I named it.
Excellent.
I got the kit. It was fantastic. All right, let's talk about some other things
This is an
here.
herb keeper. Queasy Pro is the maker, and there's a whole bunch out there. I love this one for capacity because you can also store things like asparagus in it. I have kept parsley for 2 months. So I cut a whole bunch at the end of the growing season, and then you just take the lid off, just pull a bit out at a time. Really, really great tool.
I am getting one of these.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I've struggled with. I wrap it in wet paper
tried
towel.
All those things. This is the thing.
Okay.
So I can put in some thyme,
Putting
some
that
rosemary.
aside.
Yeah.
Not that I'm taking it, so I can take a picture later.
Perfect.
What else have you got here?
So in your right hand is a dough whisk for all the sourdough makers out there in the world. Both of these are from Lee Valley Tools. Way better than a spoon, way better than a spatula. This is my stirrer of choice. I make sourdough a couple times a week, and it's a Danish influenced product. So good. And this is for making, when you see cookies and they're all exactly the same size and they're perfectly round? This is the trick, a cookie scoop.
Right.
So simple.
It's basically like an ice cream scoop, but a little smaller.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's just the bomb for cookies. And you can even scoop dough balls, lay them out, freeze them, and then you can pull out 6, 8, 10, 12 at a time and just bake up a few at a time. So really great free cookies. Tea towels are here because I often wrap Christmas gifts, especially foodie gifts, in a nice tea towel.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Instead of paper, and then they have kind of 2 gifts in one.
Fantastic. Yeah, and more sustainable, of course, as well. We got some more food here. Tell me about this.
So this is chocolate from Maker House. It's a company called Peace by Chocolate, and it's a Syrian family, and they fled in 2012 to Canada. Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Amazing success story. Their chocolate is delicious. They're across the country now. Nicest people you ever want to meet.
Nice.
I went to their flagship store and met them, and all kinds of clever, creative combinations, great names. This one's called Fill Your Boots, which is a really popular maritime expression, which basically means like go for it, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
And in my family, we say it all the time. So great chocolates. Again, stocking stuffers, perfect. Swedish dishcloths. So if you haven't used these before, they're cellulose-based. They're made from wood pulp, and they are the best dishcloths, hands down. Every kitchen shop has them. Sometimes they got pretty pictures on them. They don't get smelly. They dry out completely between uses. Throw them in the dishwasher or the microwave, and when you're finally done with them, they get stained after a couple months of using. They're compostable.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like a paper towel, dishcloth, all in one. This one towel could soak up a whole spilled cup of coffee.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I love those.
We got 30. So you know what?
Nuts to go.
Not to worry. If we run out of time, we've got 2 segments. Don't worry.
So Hand Fuel, great Canadian company. They have nut mixes, all made with premium products. I love these. They're so delicious, way better than I would say some of the bigger companies.
Nice.
And just really, really nice people. So this is, again, a super duper stocking stuffer from Hand Fuel. So really, really like these.
We're going to go to some larger items. So from stocking stuffer types of items on the table that you see here to some larger items. We'll be back with Paula Roy right after this. Don't go anywhere.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university, so they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Hey
everybody. My name is Karen. I'm here with my best friends Shane and Monique. Join us on Rogers TV for Fitness Faction. Every week, we're going to take you through a full body workout. We've got strength training, we've got cardio, we've got HIIT. Ladies, let's get back into it.
I think we've got 10 more skaters. Let's go.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back. As promised, we are back with Paula Roy, host of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods, which you can watch right here on Rogers TV. And before we get to the items, we should tell everyone you've got some holiday special segments coming up, right? Some episodes.
So we filmed in November 4 holiday episodes, and they're very much in keeping with these segments today because it's all about gifts that you can make in your own kitchen and give to your friends and family and bus driver and teacher and paper person, whoever. Really easy but unique ideas like infused vinegars, orange coriander vinegar, right? So really interesting. Some pan roasted nuts. Normally when you're doing nuts, I didn't know this, I do them in the oven, stir them every 10 minutes for like a half an hour. That's 5 minutes on the stovetop, exactly same results.
Really,
So all kinds of really fun and delicious ideas and a whole bunch of packaging suggestions. So they're gonna roll out starting December 10th.
Okay.
I don't know the exact schedule, but I do know that for the first time in my life, there's going to be a Paula Roy's Favorite Foods marathon one day.
There is, and I can tell you the marathon's December the 17th from 2 to 4 p.m. So you can watch all 4 of those episodes in one sitting. And as you said, people really appreciate it when you get them something that you've created yourself, whether it's food or a piece of art. And you know, during these times when everyone's looking for more affordable things, this is a great opportunity for people to tune in.
And I tried to come up with ideas that don't call for really, really expensive ingredients. I mean, one year I remember I made everybody customized vanilla extracts. Well, at that time, vanilla beans were like $100 a pound or something. It was ridiculous. And I hope they really enjoyed that vanilla. So I tried to work with sort of more mainstream ingredients and lots of dollar store packaging ideas. Just, really fun, really practical. And the episodes are airing soon enough that people have lots of time to make them before Christmas.
Fantastic. All right, well, let's move on to our next item. This thing is one of the most popular items, I think, in many kitchens right now, right?
Air fryers are, and I think for good reason. I mean, they're almost like the, I don't know, the way the Instant Pot took off was interesting, but I know certainly in North America, we never exploited the capabilities of that device the way it was intended to. It's meant to replace, it was sort of, the conception was for a lot of kitchens in countries where you don't have a full stove. You might have a 2-burner stovetop, no oven, and so it was to replace a lot of those devices, and people just used it either as a slow cooker or a pressure cooker, and that was kind of it. But air fryers, they are the bomb, in my opinion. I have tried so many. This one is at the top of my list right now for a couple of reasons. It's a product by Cuisinart. We all know that name. Great name. So this one, I can't reach to pull it out, but it has a glass front on the door, so you can actually see the food cooking inside. So you know what's going on, and a light that you can turn on and off, so you can all the better see the food inside.
Fantastic. I love it.
It goes up higher than 400 degrees, which is the first air fryer I've seen that does that. So for fish, for example, I like a really hot, quick cook. So that's great. It's got a keep warm function where you can put it on super, it'll automatically go to super low when the food is done and just sit there and wait for you.
And it's pretty fast too, right?
So fast.
In the cooking time.
I did a cake in there the other day, and I think it took 12 minutes or something. I've tried cookies, I've tried vegetables. I use it so much. I actually have 2 air fryers, and some meals I have them both out to make the same meal.
I've got to convince Monica to get one of these.
So my one tip, if you're gifting this to someone or even to yourself, make sure you have room for it in your cupboard. It's going to drive you crazy if it's sitting on the counter. because it is big. And I rearranged. I thought, you know what? I'm not using my juicer very much anymore. So it went to a far cupboard, and the air fryer sits right where I can grab it. And I think that's why I use it so much.
Fantastic. All right, let's move on to the next thing. What have you got here?
This is a company called nuts.com, and they sell all kinds of snack things, all kinds of goodies, and they have these great Christmas kits. So this is a hot chocolate kit with different kinds of hot chocolate, peppermint sprinkles, marshmallows, cookies. Really great for someone if you want to order something and have it shipped directly to them, because it comes in this festive box.
Cute.
And you just don't have to, it's kind of a set it and forget it kind of gift. So that's just a great option. They have cookie decorating kits, gingerbread house kits, all kinds of things.
Nice.
So super fun.
Let's move on to,
Hiding in the back here.
I think my stepmother has like 6 of these.
I have 8.
What? Like what? Why?
Because
why
they go
these?
in the dishwasher.
Oh, that's why.
So
okay.
yeah, it's a pressed wood fiber, super sturdy. I love cutting on them. These ones have little rubber feet, so they don't slide on the counter,
Right.
which is great. Really good if you're cooking with kids and you want to make sure that the board's not going to get away from them. And it's got a channel for liquids, but I use it once, throw it in the dishwasher, and then it's, and the next day it's available. So love these. Queasy Pro makes them, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So a tip is that I have adult children, but a lot of their kitchen stuff was my cast-offs when they moved into the house.
Of course, yeah.
Or what
Makes
they found
sense.
at the dollar store or whatever. So slowly but surely, I'm upgrading their cooking gear. So this is the
Nice.
kind of thing that's great. They'll have it forever.
Yeah.
And it's not crazy expensive, and they'll use it every day and hopefully think of me.
Very nice. You got a little something here to make martinis,
That's
is that right?
This is an espresso martini kit. So we've got Absolute Vodka, cold brew coffee, and Kahlua all in one handy-dandy gift pack available at the LCBO. And I thought espresso martinis had their day, but they are having a renaissance.
Oh, they are.
Absolutely.
100%.
And no wonder they're delicious.
They are delicious.
So again, a great gift. I think sometimes I call these the boss gifts. If you don't know what to get for your boss because he makes lots of money and has everything, or whatever,
Nice.
it's sure to be appreciated, and comes just easy to wrap. Slap in a gift bag, whatever you want.
Just over 60 seconds left, so let's go.
We're going to top here first.
Let's go to that
KitchenAid
one.
has these new cordless appliances, 6 in the suite, and they all run on the same cordless battery.
Oh, really?
So you
Okay.
only need to buy one battery and one charger.
Right.
This is a vacuum. Whoa! There we go. It fits in. That's exciting. Fits in your kitchen drawer, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
So it's I sometimes would do the foot sweep when I drop something and put it on the cupboard.
Oh, good. I'm not alone.
Foot sweep no more. And they have this personal-sized blender. There's a hand mixer, all kinds of things. And then cookbooks. I just published today on constantlycooking.com a cookbook guide. This one was featured in Ottawa at Home, but
Okay.
the others are in there. Really instructive, useful, great pictures, good for cooks who want to learn about new cuisines. One of them is Greek food, for example. People who want to brush up on techniques. There's a seafood one.
Oh, nice.
I cook a lot of seafood. I learned a ton from that book. So many options.
Well, and you know what? Cookbooks can be overwhelming too when you go into the bookstore,
Oh,
and
yes.
there's just so many of them. To have somebody like yourself that can break it down for us and let us know, right? This is a good one.
Yeah.
You can count on it.
I looked at a bunch, and these were my top picks, and they're all newly published this year.
I want to remind everybody, Paula Roy's Favorite Foods, of course, airs right here on Rogers Television. Again, that marathon is coming up on December the 17th from 2 to 4 p.m., so you can watch each episode back to back. December 10th, I believe, is the premiere. And don't forget, you can always go to www.rogerstv.com/Ottawa to find out the entire schedule. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts, a racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us here every single week on An Hour to Give. We're going to talk about community, philanthropy, and volunteerism. It's airing right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, we are back talking about something incredibly important. We all need them. We all use them. And I'm talking toilets. Well, not me. Our next guest, contractor Ryan, joining us back on the show. Of course, Ryan Branton. You can find him on contractorryan.com. Yep. And today you wanted to talk about toilets because it's something I think we just go and we just buy anything. Right? So I need a new toilet, I'm just going to go in. And not only that, is installing it. I've heard nightmares when it comes to installation.
And service.
And service.
And service. People forget about service. I want to talk about service.
Oh, well, let's start there.
What could we possibly need to service, right?
Yeah.
Well, toilet takes forever to fill. You flush the toilet and it takes forever to fill. What about the running toilet? Just constantly flushing by itself, right? There's some simple things that fix that. And some people actually get letters from the city. Hey, your toilet's running.
Really?
Call a contractor. So when I come in and
because it's completely wasteful.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
And the city can tell. They know everything.
Wow, they're watching us.
They're watching us.
Big Brother is watching our toilets now. My goodness.
So if your toilet is running all the time, or say flushing by itself, you kind of hear it flushing in the background. You don't know why. A lot of times it has to do with, I call it the flapper, but it's not really a flapper anymore.
Okay.
It's more like a seal. It's this product right here, and it sits on the inside right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of there. I don't know if you can get in there. Right inside there, it sits. Yeah. No. Okay. No. Anyway, so it sits there.
Ken will get it. Don't you worry.
This is like a $2 washer.
Okay.
You know, you can pick it up at Home Depot.
Right.
Now, this is actually my favorite. I have a favorite toilet.
Okay, this is your favorite toilet.
This is my favorite toilet.
You brought us your favorite toilet.
I did. And you know why it's my favorite? It's easy to service.
Okay.
And all the parts are available at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Nice.
Right? So something goes wrong, you have this little, see that little washer?
Yeah.
So what happens is that can deteriorate over time, especially if you like to put those little chlorine tablets in. Oh my, they're really hard on. They're really hard on.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't use them, by the way.
Okay.
In case you're wondering. Yeah.
All right, I was actually. But So this is something that it requires service, easy to fix.
Right.
And then we have this bad boy here. This is called your filler valve.
Right.
Right. So this, it's right in here as well. Let's see. Can you see that in there? It's right in there.
Yeah.
But it also, this is what, I'll show around. This is what the supply line connects to right here, the bottom side of this, right?
Yeah.
So it connects to this. This is what your little, little tiny, I don't know what they're called, but this is a float.
Yeah.
Right? You know, the bubbles that used to be on the inside of it?
The bladder.
The little thing that goes up and down. But this is the new style, let's say. Okay.
Right.
So a lot of times these can be built up with sediments as this fills up, and this can kind of get gunked up.
Okay.
And then it takes forever for your toilet to fill up with water. I get that complaint a lot. People call me and say, hey, man, my toilet takes forever. This is like a $20 part at Home Depot.
Okay.
Right? Like, toilets are expensive. You don't want to buy a whole new toilet because of, like, $30 worth of parts.
Can I just make one complaint, though?
Okay, go ahead. Sure, just one? Just one today. Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm just, you look at this stuff. You go into Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you go, and I just look at this stuff and look at this plastic, man.
Yeah.
Like, how long is this thing going to last?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Oh, yeah.
Like, do we have standards anymore, people? Can we not make one of these, like, stainless steel or something?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not in the manufacturing business.
Probably costs way too much. Stainless steel would probably be like $75 or more.
Well, there are toilets that are crazy expensive, but these are like common things that you can take care of yourself, so you don't have to call a plumber.
Right.
Because to get a plumber to come to your house is expensive.
Oh, extremely expensive
and
for sure.
For him to replace this, which he bought at Home Depot on the way to your house for $2.
Yeah. $180 later, right?
It's expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk a little installation, because I see you brought the wax seal here.
I did.
This isn't a job I think you'd necessarily want to do alone if you are doing it up by yourself and you're not hiring someone like you.
I think it is something you can do. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know. I find people getting really nervous. You're trying to lower that thing onto the...
You are, yeah.
Onto the wax seal.
So let's talk about, we're lowering it onto this. This is your flange.
Right.
This is what's on your floor. In a typical situation, if this is not damaged, I would say you don't need a plumber. You can do this yourself. Now, if it's damaged, then yes, you should have a flange repair kit or something like that. Something that maybe a plumber should do. But let's say you're just swapping out the thing. It's pretty easy.
All right.
You have two options. You have this bad boy here. This is your wax seal that everyone's used to seeing, right? I'm going to take it right out. I'm going to get full of wax.
Are you really?
Why not?
Okay.
Let's just do
All
it. I don't know how long I have today, but let's just do it. So this just comes right out, whatever. The wax comes right off. This goes inside there. You stand that up inside there like that. And when you push the toilet on top of it, it just crushes it and makes a seal. Easy. That's it.
Okay, it's the lining up of it. I find that many people get a little nervous
You're
about.
100% right. You know why? Because these fail all the time.
Do they really?
People install these all the time, and there's a real problem with them. And I don't like using them.
Okay.
Now,
is there an alternative?
Absolutely, of course. I wouldn't have brought it up otherwise.
All right.
So you have this in here like this, right? You push it down, but let's just say now you're looking at your toilet and it's a little crooked, and now you decide to rotate your toilet, right, to line it up properly. You're still doing that kind of wiggle as you push it down.
Yeah.
What happens is you can actually crack the wax, and now you have a leak. I don't like. You know, you can get extensions for them, the wax, right? You can get extensions for them. They do work.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. They do work, but they have a high failure rate.
Okay.
But you can just buy this. This is also available at Home Depot.
Okay.
You can buy these in different heights.
Right, yeah, because now you've got toilets, right? Or you're tiling or whatever you're putting down.
Exactly,
gotcha.
right?
Okay.
So you put that right on there like that. You put your toilet on it on the right thickness, you know, and then you bolt that down. Your toilet sits on it, and the weight of your toilet compresses it.
Are you kidding me right now?
Isn't this awesome?
This is amazing.
And you can rotate it. You can do whatever you want. You can play around with it. No leaks. If you get excited about it, you can actually put a little silicone around it as well. Like
okay.
You know,
I might want to do that. Just makes me feel a little bit better. Right, with the seal.
But this is what the plumbers use. I don't think I've ever seen a plumber show up on one of my job sites with a wax.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
So, why are they hiding this from us?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe.
So this is your favorite toilet?
This is my favorite.
Is this
I'm glad you asked.
American standard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it my favorite toilet?
Why? You tell me.
Because a lot of people these days, they love what's called a skirted toilet. Okay. And a skirted toilet hides all of this business here. If we can get kind of like all of this jazz here, it hides all of that. The problem with that, Derek, is it's incredibly hard to install.
Okay.
And then you have these one-piece toilets. Now we're talking a lot of weight for that one plumber to install. And a lot of times all of this stuff here, you actually have to remove the toilet to put in this $10 part.
Oh, yeah.
And it drives me crazy.
I can imagine. I never thought of that. Yeah,
so
if you have to replace the $20 part, oh my goodness.
You have to pull the entire toilet to do it.
Ryan, always a pleasure, man. Who knew when I got up this morning I'd be talking toilets on the show. ContractorRyan.com to find out more about him, of course, and he's got some great videos available. We'll be right back after this.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Join us for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
I still remember the games, the laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
I'll never forget the help we needed. How far we've come.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. My goodness, from toilets to beer. It's actually not a bad segue, because if you drink enough, you might have to. I'm not going there. This is a great Ottawa success story. Paul Meek is the owner of Kitchissippi Beer. He's got some exciting news to share with our viewers today. Welcome back, buddy.
Good to see you.
Great to have you. Good to see you, too. Before we get to the exciting news, for those that aren't familiar with Kitchissippi Beer, which you should be already, but tell us a little bit about the background and your inspiration, how this all got started for you.
Yeah, we were 13, 14 years ago. We were thinking, there's not a lot of craft breweries in the town. There's actually only one at the time, and my wife was a proud Nova Scotia girl and enjoyed some great Nova Scotia beer. And she said, we need to create that little civic pride and create a brewery that people can call their own in Ottawa. So, 13 and a half years ago, Kitchissippi came to be, and we've sold a couple of pints since then.
A couple of pints. Yeah. So that first year, how many were on offer compared to where you are today? Let's talk about your growth.
First year was just one. The first year was just one beer, and we made a second beer as a birthday present to ourselves. And then now we've got a few. I think we've got 12 or 13 in the on the shelf right now. So a lot more going on.
Did you have any prior experience? Like, were you a home brewer? Or?
No, that's sort of the funny thing. I've never brewed a batch of beer in my life. So so I've worked for Sleeman, I've worked for Labatt, I've worked for Smirnoff, I've worked for Pepsi. So I had lots of experience in the industry.
Right.
Sold some great wines from around the world. Sold some great beers from Germany, Austria, and Belgium. And customers were saying, "Hey, Paul, look, we like dealing with you. We like dealing with you and Kelly, but we're looking for more local product. Do you have anything in your portfolio?" And we said, "Well, no, we don't, but let's make something."
Well, we'll start making beer.
Let's, ding. So off we went.
And how you got into the beer? If I remember, were you not a mascot?
Wow! How did you remember that? Yeah. It was when I was at a university many years ago, I had this, what I thought should be the proper university experience: go to the football game and, hey, there's no mascot here.
Right.
And I'm like, where's the mascot? I said, nobody wants to do it. Well, I'll do it. And
Love this story.
So I was the mascot, and then the mascot when you're in football games was great because it's nice and cold outside, but you want to go to the basketball game.
Oh.
It was really hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
So then I ditched the mascot outfit and then just sort of did like a Harlem Globetrotter, basketball uniform, would break dance on the floor and bug the refs and throw prizes to the crowd. And that got me into this, sports marketing thing. I got hired by Pepsi, got hired by Milk, got hired by Alexander Keith's. If you were thirsty, I totally had you covered. And that was how I got into the beer world and the beverage world.
I'm glad I asked because I always remember parts of your story, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I was a mascot. Breakdancing.
How are we talking
Paul
about that?
Meek is breakdancing, my friends.
That's almost 30 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. And speaking of growth, you got some exciting news. You not only is it going to be a pop-up, but you've got a new store down on Sparks Street coming.
So right now we just opened up last week at 187 Sparks. Customers have been coming out to our spot in Bell's Corners at our trailside location saying, "Look, Paul, I love coming out here. Wish you were closer to downtown."
Right.
So we said, you know what, let's work on this. So we've actually been quietly working on this for about 8 months.
Okay.
The NCC's been great. The mayor's office has been great. The Sparks Street BIA has been fantastic. Our friends down at Bar Robo and Iona have been really good in terms of championing, some more growth in the area. And we said we finally found a spot and something that made sense for us. So for the month of December, we're down. Basically, it's like a farmer's market with a door.
Okay.
Come on in. It's our beer, Rose Hall Run wines, Dunrobin spirits, Saunders cider, some great local baked goods. So it's we've got some fantastic Ottawa and Ontario suppliers. We'll close down in January, start working on renovations.
Okay.
And then it's just our Bell's Corner spot shrunk down. 20 seats, small food menu, come on in for a drink, have a small snack, but a very well-stocked liquor store.
Nice.
Yeah.
You brought some beers along. It looks very seasonal, what you brought along with you here today.
It's called our Cheers to the Season Pack. We dress up all of our cans this time of year to look like their own little Christmas presents.
Nice.
But it's all non-denominational, so it's very, very festive, very, very seasonal.
Yeah.
And so we always enjoy doing those, but our brewmaster is always like, hey, look, want to do something fun. I love pumping out our lagers. We love doing our IPAs. We want to do something fun and neat this year. He says, can we do some Belgian stuff? I'm like, yeah, we can do some Belgian stuff. So we came up with a brand new beer called Sasquatch Sinterklaas.
Sasquatch Sinterklaas. It looks like a darker beer?
It's a darker beer, but it's...
okay, it's more of a reddish tone to it.
So think of it as one of those, it's après ski, it's après curling.
Okay.
And you sit by the fire. It's not the kind of thing you're going to chug, because it's 8.8%.
8.8.
Yeah, so it's going to drop down your bum.
I will. I will sip it very slowly here.
But
everybody at home.
Basically, it's a big flavor, lots of warm spice to it. The kind of thing you're going to sip. Think of it like a glass of wine, but beer format. So you're going to sip, you're going to enjoy, you're going to smell.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is
beautiful, eh?
So
it's
nice.
just that winter warmer. You come in from the cold, you just want to have something that's going to warm you up, but not warm in the glass, but just warm.
And really smooth for an 8.8. Like
Exactly.
I was thinking it was going to give me a little wallop on the
No, we're very lucky.
palate.
Our team, we've got a great production team. Our brewmaster trained in Germany for 3.5 years, so They're well compensated for being a fantastic group. One of the jokes is, what's your batch size? Well, our batch size is 3,000 liters. What's your test batch size? 3,000 liters. So we're really lucky that they've been trained well and a fantastic team that works together to make some really well balanced beers. We want to make sure there's balance in the glass.
Let's go back to Robertson Road. I mean, what a huge space you have there, right? And you do a lot of different unique things throughout the year. Anything special going on around the holidays?
Absolutely. We've got rock and roll bingo happening on Thursday night.
Nice.
We've got a drag queen show happening between Christmas and New Year's. We've got a pinball tournament coming up. So yeah, our Bell's Corner spot, our trailside location, is basically like a community hub. We've got our cafe in the morning, full coffee service, cappuccino, lattes, some great baked goods, and then we've got wines with a glass, cocktails on tap, beer. So it's one of those. It's all things, even non-alcoholic options. Where there's non-alcoholic beer, bringing the kids in. We make our own soda pop.
Yeah.
So there's.
I remember going in with my daughter Chloe, and you're fixing her up with one of those fantastic. So yeah, I want to go back to pinball competition.
Yeah.
You have machines there now?
So we've got a brand new tap manager, and I said, look, Chris, you take the reins and you want do it as you please. And he goes, I think we should have pinball machines here. I'm like, okay. And
I love it.
Yeah, so we just brought in a couple pinball machines. Customers are looking for more. We've just got the 2 right now, so we're getting our feet wet with that. But it's been great. We just held our first pinball tournament last week. We have another one coming up this month.
Oh, I got to get my brother out for that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We actually owned a pinball machine, a Tarzan pinball machine growing up. I remember we were one of the few people in the neighborhood, and some of the best memory. And those have made a bit of a comeback. Like,
definitely.
Right? You've got House of Targ, right, with their pinball and doing a great work there.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, the popular one right now that we have is the Elvira machine.
The Elvira.
So, yeah.
Okay,
so
man.
People love it. It's great.
I am coming.
Yeah.
For these packs, they're available until?
Available right until Christmas. So you can hop online. They've got a nice little to and from tag ready to go. So the cans are wrapped up like gifts. The box is wrapped up like a gift. Order it for yourself. We could ship it to your friends. Home delivery is still available 5 days a week.
Fantastic.
So whether it's the Cheers to the Season pack, come visit us at Trailside, come visit us at Spark Street. Lots of great things going on.
Awesome. All the best to you. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Paul.
for having us on today.
A pleasure. Again, you can check them out, kbeer.ca, 187 Spark Street, or visit them down there at Robertson Road. We'll be back with more right after this. Cheers.
Cheers to you, sir.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Ani, I'm Carolyn King, and I'm a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the creator of the Moccasin Identifier. Philip Cote, an artist in Toronto here, took and redrew real moccasins. We're starting over with the children. The idea is that they would research whose land their school is built on, near, or what treaty area they're in. And the educational kit that we have has all that information in there. And the children just, love it. My dream is that this province will be covered with moccasin identifiers within the next decade, and they will forever know whose land they're on. That's the goal. Educate and awareness with a nice, simple little program called the Moccasin Identifier.
Welcome back to the show. I mentioned off the top, honestly, we are so fortunate in this city to have so many great singers, songwriters, artists, and my next guest is one of the best in the entire country. He's got a brand new album called Dream Job. And before I introduce you to him here in studio, here's a little taste of what you can expect when you see him live on Saturday.
We go together like sweet and salty. We go together like peaches and cream. Lost without you, but now I see it was written in the stars you were meant for me. Key and lock, lock and key. Me and you, baby, you and me.
One of the fantastic songs off Jeff Rogers' album. Jeff, welcome. Great to have you here.
Great to be here. Nice to see you.
Let's talk about that song first of all, Lock and Key. That's I guess the first release off the album, first single off the album.
That's it. It's the first single. Like the whole record was co-written with Dick Cooper from the Cooper Brothers and myself, and it's just a fun tune about coming home. To the one you love.
Nice.
It's just a little rock and roll on the way.
This album, a long time in the making, but not necessarily a long time in the recording, because you went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, which is a really special place for people that aren't familiar with what that place means to the music industry and to artists like yourself. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, Muscle Shoals, Alabama is one of the pillars of American music. Most people think Detroit, Motown. You got Nashville for your country, but then you also have Memphis with Stax. You have Muscle Shoals. You got New Orleans. These are the centers where music is most unique. For more hip hop, you have Philadelphia, but these are the cornerstones of American music. Muscle Shoals, Alabama, was home to some of the best records from Lynyrd Skynyrd, Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, Bob Seger. Rolling Stones. I mean, when we were there in February of 2020, in the before times, to record, we recorded over 4 days in the studio. We did 9 songs, and on one of our days, or on one of the mornings before we went into the studio, we went and checked out Muscle Shoals sound. No, I guess it was the day before leaving. Sorry, it was the day before leaving. We weren't wasting studio days. And I got to play on the piano that old time rock and roll, the din 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 din, like that very piano.
Wow,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
also,
no kidding.
I think they wrote Wild Horses, the Rolling Stones did on that piano. So it was cool to be to play that piano. And I was there before it opened, so normally they don't let people. But we knew a guy, so I got to.
Is there a lot of pressure? I mean, because you're, as you said, you're not going to waste any studio time. You go down there, you got to make sure you get these tracks down. What is that like? Is there pressure on you? Was it a big challenge at all?
There is and there isn't. I mean, if you're they're your songs, so theoretically you should be able to play them and do your part. That goes without saying. Assuming that is covered, it really when you go to a place like Muscle Shoals or Nashville or Memphis or Detroit and record with a house band or a bunch of session musicians, it's generally accepted that they kind of come in cold. They might have a brief overview. They might have listened to songs once or twice, but then they're going to put down what they do. So it's my job to play my parts the way I want them played. And then when you go to a place like that, they're going to contribute what they do. They're not going to try and make it sound like what I would do here if I were to play all the instruments, because then what would be the point of going down there?
Right.
So they kind of come in a little bit cold. We have a brief discussion in the sound booth before heading out into the room. It's all right, this is how it breaks down. Do you want any chord charts? Write down quick changes. All right, watch out for this stop here. It's okay, they'll make a note, and we go in and just bang. By the second take, it's all right, done. Next song.
You mentioned the writing with Dick Cooper. He produced the album with you as well. Tell me about that relationship with Dick.
I've been playing in the Cooper Brothers now for 15 years, I think. So I have a long history of working with him. Generally in that band, I'm just kind of like the side young mercenary cat in the corner.
I don't know about that.
I'm the utility player, and I sing a couple songs. I sing the big hit, which is nice for me.
Yeah, no kidding, yeah.
Dream Never Dies that was a great time when I first sang with them.
I can't imagine.
It was cool. My first gig with the Cooper Brothers was at the TD place, like in the arena. So like check arena gig off the list.
No kidding.
And then I sing this tune. It was the one song I sang that night, and it was like Dream Never Dies, which is like Cooper Brothers' big hit. And like there's hundreds of like lighters going on.
Oh
so
yeah.
Arena check, lighters in the arena check. I'm like, all right, okay, I guess I can retire now.
Tell me about the rest of the album. How would you describe the rest of the album?
There's a little bit of everything. I mean, there's some soul stuff. There's some blues stuff. We've got a country song that I'm really excited to break down with and Dick's going to join me on stage for the Saving This Bottle, which is a song about two of my favorite things, friendship and wine.
Nice.
And then there's a gospel song that I got my friends Sharon Riley and Faith Corral from Toronto. We went down to Toronto, obviously after the fact, not
right.
And recorded a gospel choir on the tune. So there's the gospel choir on three songs. There's Ed Lister arranged excellent horn charts for 3 songs. So we have like a varied types of songs. I've never been good at like sticking to one style and like putting myself in that one box. I kind of scratch whatever itch I feel like, you know?
Well, and I should tell everybody at home, Jeff actually performed at my wedding reception, and to this day, everybody that was at that reception always says, yes, that was the best decision you ever made, you and Monica. People can get the album right now, right?
Yes,
they can download the album, and tickets still available
Tickets
for
are
Saturday?
available for Saturday at the NAC, at the Israeli Theater. You can call the box office, or you can go through Ticketmaster, but it's more cost-effective if you call direct.
Yeah, absolutely. Wink, wink. There's a great little tip there from a local musician. Jeff, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Really
Thanks
appreciate it. Jeff's also part of the band The Commotions, who are going to be on the show coming up either next week or the week after. I can't remember off the top of my head, but another fantastic band that we'll introduce you to. We'll be back with more right after this.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
On Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us here every single week on An Hour to Give. We're going to talk about community, philanthropy, and volunteerism. It's airing right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back to share an inspiring story with you here today. Irene Ziazzo joins me. She is the CEO and partner relations at Boxia Partage. Welcome. Great to have you here. Irene, you have a really unique story in that you came to Canada all by yourself at the age of 15. Tell me the experience you had and why you ended up coming here at such a young age by yourself.
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in Spain, but I'm of Chinese background. So actually, my grandparents and parents immigrated to Spain. So they were pretty young as well, around 18 and early 20s. And I kind of decided to follow the same path because obviously if I was staying in Spain, I would not go outside of my comfort zone. And obviously we know that nothing exciting happens when we stay in our comfort zone, right? So then I was like, you know what, let me get some international education, some international professional experience, and potentially maybe one day move back to Europe or go somewhere else, but gain that baggage of experience. So really just packed my suitcases, came at 15, was in Toronto for a couple years, but I spent more than 10 years now in Ottawa. So I've literally spent the second half of my life here now.
Now, if 15-year-olds are watching right now, they're probably going to say, Derek, what you're about to say is not true. But 15 is quite young to make that kind of decision. What was your parents' reaction to that decision?
They were obviously hesitant at the beginning, but I think we made a good choice by coming to Canada compared to other countries. And then they were obviously supportive, knowing the environment in Canada and what education or factors actually were taken into account.
So walk me through your education. Then what did you take? What did you pursue?
So at the university, well, actually I was at an international school prior to that. So there I had the privilege to literally live and work with folks from over like 80 nationalities.
Wow.
But then at the university, because I couldn't become a lawyer anymore, because back home was a direct entry faculty, and you just do your 4 years, you become a lawyer. Here it's different, right? You get your bachelor's, and then you have to go into law school, and then potentially if you do common law, you won't be able to practice elsewhere. So then I did a compromise and did international relations and business admin in the end.
And you moved into the corporate world, is that right?
Yes.
Well, tell me about that.
So I was in the international education field, but I thought I should get some other experience. So corporate world, I did about 10 years, different industries, so IT, recruitment, HR as well, and some community work. But over those 10 years, over the course of those 10 years, I really realized that I couldn't be fully myself at work. I had to hide certain parts of my identity to be able to fit in.
Really?
And sometimes I would actually isolate myself, because I would think my point of view is not as valid as others.
Interesting.
Things like
so what parts of your identity did you feel you had to hide?
So because I have a huge intersection of identities, and I would actually like to speak about 3 identities.
Sure.
So the original, which is obviously your parents' identity, your ancestors, your blood kind of align, right? The multicultural one, whether it's, as an immigrant, but also through work. I mean, you could have worked in different cities, countries, etc., or have lived with people from many different nationalities. Or as an immigrant, obviously, you need to adjust and gain or kind of absorb and adopt certain values or multicultural values as well.
Right.
And then the multiple identity, right, that I kind of refer to as your natural talents, your gifts, but also your hats every day. So everything related to the social factors. So you're a dad, right? You're a husband, you're a TV host, etc. So it's really being able to be able to showcase and be authentically yourself in all of those intersection of identities without having to, let's say, hide my original or my multicultural, because I can navigate the Anglophone, the Francophone, the Hispanic, and the Chinese environment. I could literally just switch right now if it was someone from another culture.
So, and then you decided to get into social enterprise, I imagine, to share these ideals, these ideas that you have. Tell me about that experience and that decision.
Yeah, so really trying to empower other folks. I mean, I realized that there's many more people in my situation to fully embrace their authentic selves, but also to have a voice at the table. A lot of the times we're underrepresented. So whether we're racialized, women, etc., right? And we're underrepresented. So really having that network of support, because sometimes we're afraid to voice our opinions or what we're living every single day. So if we do face racism or discrimination, I mean, we should be able to have that network of support as well.
You brought some graphic novels along with you here. Are these novels that you've created yourself or
with
with
a whole team of illustrators,
Wow.
of researchers, authors, publishers, etc.
So what is the content? Like, what are you discussing the things that we've just discussed in
Yes.
these novels? That's
So
the idea behind them?
Essentially, we produce pedagogical tools in a more kind of animated format or niche, more creative format, let's put it that way, to
Okay.
raise awareness about Canadian heritage and culture. And that could
Interesting.
be like Indigenous history, obviously Black Canadian history, Franco-Ontarian history, the history of, or the journey of an immigrant, or et cetera, et cetera.
What's your goal for the future? If you say in the next 5 years, this is what I'd like this social enterprise to be.
Produce films, right? You start with illustrations and graphic novels, but we all know that producing films cost a lot of money.
Right.
And so even if it's like a 30-minute segment, it will cost quite a bit. So that's the goal, being able to touch not just teenagers, but also adults across any age, any industry.
And people can find out more information on your website, right, about all these things we've discussed. Thank you so much, Irene. Really appreciate you joining me today. All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Don't go anywhere. Hey, we'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Join us for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Let's talk about some of the things we discussed on today's show. A big thanks, as always, to all of the guests. Don't forget, Paula Roy's is the host of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods. And what we have done with Paula this year is she's got some holiday episodes. So 4 holiday episodes, I believe beginning on December 10th will be the premiere, but you can watch them all. There's a marathon on December the 17th from 2 to 4 p.m. And if you want to find out all those recipes, some of the recipes that she's discussed on this show or on her own show, you can go to constantlycooking.com. Reminder as well, Paul Meek, just so proud of Paul. He's been such a great success story. Kitchissippi beer owner. They have their location there on Robertson Road. That's located at 2265 Robertson Road in Bell's Corners. And don't forget, he's got that pop-up on Spark Street, 187 Spark Street, and that goes until December 23rd. Then they close down for a bit. Going to do a full renovation and bring that concept that they have in Bell's Corners to that Spark Street location. And Dream Job album release party at the NAC. Jeff Rogers, you can catch him this Saturday, December 9th, 8 p.m. You can visit the NAC box office. You can call them or visit their website. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
My name is Risa Solomon St. Louis, and I'm the chef and owner of Bacchanal Taste the Caribbean Lifestyle. I love to eat, I love to cook, and this is one of the reasons why I became a chef. I'm excited to share some of what inspires me when you see me at farmers markets, when we're catering, through our prepared meals, and even our sauces and spice blends that we're known for. Thank you for coming into the kitchen with Risa.
Join us Monday to Friday on Daytime Ottawa as we showcase some of the fabulous things that are happening in your city. We'll showcase some local